Motivation. I'm motivated. But what do you do when motivation is not enough? You rely on your work ethic. You rely on your discipline. That's mentality. Now let's get it. Hey, how's it going? This is Julian Peters back here on Mentality Podcast, bringing back my guest, Robert Crawford. We're going to call this part 2. I pretty much labeled this the journey as a professional basketball player because that's what we've been talking about. I believe we ended our last conversation with Rob basically talking about how it was time to find an agent, looking for the overseas gigs. So that's where we ended. So other than that, anything else, or you just want to get straight into it?
We can get straight into it, bro.
All right, so you are balled out UCA senior year, 49% three-point shooter. I want y'all to hear that because that's incredible if you know basketball. If you don't know basketball, that's higher than Steph Curry. Just know that. I know y'all know who that is.
Man, come on,
balled out, did your thing. Now it's time to go get paid professionally. And I know that's a whole nother process to the journey. So, talk about that. Let's go.
So, like you said, man, balled out, not better than Steph. But
no, you just shy better at that particular time.
Yeah. So balled out, man. Agents just started hitting me up, man. Just all type of just different agents from different places, from Europe, from different parts of the world, some American agents. And I just had no idea what to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know, nobody in my family had ever went down this path or done this before. And I didn't really know anybody that took this path. So I'm just like, all right, what do I do? They started asking me for how all of them was asking me this, basically the same questions, talking the same talking, asking the same questions. And they all wanted a highlight tape. So I said, okay, probably need a highlight tape.
Right.
So I go to my coaches. They really didn't, they were willing to help, but this is like 2013 where videos and highlights and stuff wasn't really that. Instagram was just coming on the scene. Twitter was still kind of fairly new. So we only had Facebook, and nobody was like just throwing videos on Facebook all the time. You know what I mean? So highlights and stuff like that weren't really just that big of a deal.
Right.
So they did what they could, but they really couldn't help me with getting an actual highlight film. So, I just, like I said, man, I went back to my room. I remember I went to the coach's office, asked them if they could help. They really couldn't. I went back to my room and I was just like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to get a highlight tape. But like I was saying in the last episode, shout out to Christian Crines again. He had made me a highlight tape, but I didn't get it till he was still making it, but I needed one like at that moment for the agents. Yeah. So I said, you know what, man, I got this MacBook. I see iMovie, the app, on here all the time. I never clicked on it. So I clicked on it and just got to clicking around and figured it out, man. And just, it made me a highlight tape. That's where that's essentially where RWC Productions came from. And so now, man, give me a highlight tape. I signed me an agent. And my first job, I go play in Europe, in Hungary, Eastern Europe. I was there for a month and a half, got fired from there. And for the young people going through this, that whole process of, because that was the first time I had ever been like let go from a team in my whole life, let alone just my career. So I'm just like fired. Oh, I need another job now. Like I'm thinking that the jobs is just like, oh, I'm let go from here. I'm finna go over here. You know what I'm saying? But I was sadly mistaken.
So real quick, looking back on that situation and being fired, I know you're a proponent of this, and I am too, as far as self-reflection, self-analyzing situations. Was there something that you felt you could have did better to stay on, or was that just a bad situation?
No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened.
Okay.
So basically, man, what happened was I was balling because it was preseason. I was averaging like 18, 19 through the preseason. And this is good for a rookie, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was a lot of stuff that I just did, a lot of like nuances I just didn't know about the game, which they don't teach in college. Like they don't teach you. Certain places in college do, certain college coaches do, like the bigger schools. You learn how to be a pro in college.
Right.
But I didn't know really anything about being a pro, and it's different, you know, just from I'll give you one example, just from in college when they call fist,
Mm-hmm.
they expect you to run fist all the way through.
Right.
Regardless of how the defense plays you, regardless of what read you might be able to make, if they say run it all the way through, and you know this, being a college point guard,
Yeah.
you run that play all the way through.
Right.
And that's when you see like, and I hate, and this is one of the things I really don't like about college basketball. The guys really don't know how to play basketball. They know how to play the coach's system, but they don't know how to play basketball. So college, they call it play. I'm used to just running it all the way through, boom, getting through the play and then getting to the end of the shot clock and then finding something. But in professional, they call it play, and you're supposed to go. It's a pin down screen for you, and you're supposed to come off the pin down and curl. If your man overplays it, you're supposed to go back door.
Right.
What I was doing my rookie year, I would still try to force my way over the screen. So by the time my man done pushed me away from the screen, I'm out of the offense. I done fought 5 seconds, 6 seconds trying to get through that just one part. Then
Right.
Now we look up on the shot clock. It's 9 seconds on the shot clock. Now the whole play is broken, and the point guard got to go in the ball screen, and we can't even execute because I'm not smart enough to know or savvy enough to know, hey, he's blocking, he's taking this away, go over here.
Right.
And that's the biggest difference. Like, is, you know, that's one of the things that I had to learn as my first job. But it was some off the court stuff that had happened, man, between me, another player, and an agent. Basically, I was balling out. This veteran wasn't playing well at all, and they were looking to replace him. But like the team was looking to replace him, but he ended up going to the organization, going to the club, because he had been in the club a couple years, man, and he not that club, but he had been playing in that country for a few years, like I want to say like 3 or 4 years. So he knew everybody, he knew how everything worked. He basically went to the ownership and was just like, you know, my game is lacking because I can't really play with this wing that y'all got. I can't. He was a point guard. Like, I can't play with this wing player. He, you know what I'm saying? He don't really, he's shooting too much and this and that. So I'm like, so they, you know, me being a rookie and making those type of mistakes that I just explained, they got me out of there.
Right.
So then I get an opportunity, man. I get drafted in the G League, and it was more D League at the time, yeah. So and it was more of the same, bro. Like I got into the situation, training camp, it all hit me just, you know what I'm saying? Now it's crazy because now I'm in training camp with players that I was watching on TV play. You know what I'm saying? Guys that went to Syracuse, guys that went to Georgetown. I'm like, woo. Now I'm not sitting here saying I was starstruck, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, like I'm in the mix. Like
I remember when you told me Scoops Jardine was I'm like, what? Like,
yeah. Because we looking up to him, like, you know what I'm saying? We looking up to him like, man, he put that work in. So I'm in training camp with these guys. And for me, man, I always say this, man, and this is going to help, you know, my kids, anybody coming up after me. You have to have guidance, man. You have to have, like, when you get into these situations, you have to have somebody that's been there to tell you, hey, you need to do this, 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 and this to be able to survive.
Right.
Because you're just out here moving, unless you're just freakishly athletic or just got some type of you just a freak of nature, probably not going to make it, man, if you don't know just that little stuff to keep you around. So it was more the same when I got to training camp with them. As far as like they call a play, I'm trying to run it all the way through. I don't know anything about reading the game and reading the defense. My whole college experience was just me learning systems and not really learning how to play basketball.
Right.
And so
There's a legitimate difference, people. For those again
Yeah,
that don't understand the game, it's a legitimate difference in being like, for instance, this is a football reference, but I'm just wanting to explain to y'all what it is. For the longest, they said Tom Brady was a system quarterback
right.
because where he was at in New England. He goes to Tampa Bay and in 1 year wins the same Super Bowl that he was winning in New England because Tom Brady knows football, bro. He
He
is
knows
a
how to play
great
football.
quarterback. Whereas you can see other guys, the minute they leave a team and go get big deals, it's like, where was this player? It's because he was in that system. Like he was a system guy. So
Right.
the same thing in basketball. You can be one of the best players at your college or at your high school because that system is created and it's built for you. But what
For you.
happens when that system breaks down and you got to turn into a basketball player? For real,
And
a lot of
that's
people get lost.
exactly, bro. And that's another thing I say about like high school ball, man. These kids, these coaches not teaching these kids how to play ball, man. They just, I mean, I go watch high school practices, man. Even like here in Little Rock, I go watch high school practice. These kids don't even know anything. They don't know nothing about spacing. Like spacing is just simple. Like if he has the ball, you probably don't need to stand right next to him
Right.
because that's just like, why would I stand right next to you unless I'm about to set you a screen? But these kids, they don't know anything about it, and then the coaches just let it ride. So the same kids that try to go to college, and some of these same kids try to play professional, and it's like, bro, you don't know how to play basketball at all.
I've watched some high school games and I get frustrated from a point guard position. I have never seen so many players get a screen and not force the defender into the screen or
Yeah,
ball handle.
yeah,
That's what's to be taught. And I really didn't learn how to do that until I got with the coach, the assistant coach that came to us at Oak Woo, but he was
yeah,
at Baylor. So
right.
at the time he was at
He
Baylor,
he knew the gyms.
yeah, he was training like Tweety Carter and Lace Darius, like that Baylor squad that went to like the Elite Eight. And he was like, you got to start putting people down to where they have no choice. I can't go over because you done lined it up where you're running into this screen. But it's details like that people just, coaches don't teach you
They
at
and I
all.
and to their defense, I don't think a lot of coaches know these things.
That could
Like
be.
they don't know these things. Now,
Right.
granted, I did play for an NBA coach. He knew a large part of it was me not taking advantage of my resources as well, because I should have been, you know, I was coached by Corliss Williamson. These guy was like a 12-year vet in the NBA, 6th man of the year at one point. Like I should have been on the line with him every day. Like, yo, let's get in the gym. Show me something. Teach me something. But I'm more or less trying to listen to other guys off the court complain about this, complain about that, but not understanding like, okay, you want to be in the NBA. You have a guy that played 12 years in the NBA that you have access to.
Right.
Use it. But so it was a large part of that too. You know what I'm saying? Of just me not just being young and dumb and not understanding what's going on. But so after I get finished, I get cut in training camp of the G League, and I end up going to play. And that kind of, so when I got cut there, I had to sit down. I hit the assistant coach up at the time. I was just like, you know, why was this decision made? And they was like, well, it just took you too long to get going. Like, you know, the first 3 days of camp, we had no idea you was out there. And then when we started scrimmage in the last 3 days of camp, here you go giving Ricky Davis 11 points in 9 minutes. Where was that? If you want to be a professional, we need that all the time.
Right.
And so I was like, so what? And he just started giving me, I asked him like, what? Okay, so like give me examples of what I need to do different. And that is one of the things that he told me, like, bro, if they taking the play away from you, go the other way. Why are you still trying to, like, that's logic. Like that's common sense. But I'm like, I didn't learn that. Like in college, I'm telling him this and he just like, you know what? You know, saying gave me a rundown of just different things. But it took me to reach out to him, you know, after being not being down about being released, but just kind of being like, okay, let me figure this out. So I just reached out to him and he gave me those nuggets. But after that, I ended up going to play in Spain. And that's when I found some traction.
You want to ship out there, right?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
No, 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 no. That's coming up. So that situation was crazy because this was my first time, bro. This was my first time being in the middle of the year with nothing to do. Like, cause I got released from the 66ers, Oklahoma City Blue, in December.
mm-hmm.
So when I started realizing, like, man, pro is a lot different. Like, jobs is not just it's that, you know what I'm saying? You just don't get jobs like that. So I get released in December, and I didn't get my job I didn't go to Spain until April.
Okay.
So for that time frame, for that 4-month time frame, I just had to figure it out, bro. I had to figure it out. I had to get a job just to keep some money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I had to. I didn't have a car because so crazy story about my car. So after when I signed my agent, I had a broke down Ford Explorer. So I signed my agent, and it broke down like right after I signed my agent. So this is like June. This is early in the summer. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not even tripping. I'm about to go overseas. I'm about to get a bag. I'll just buy a car when I get back.
Right.
So all of this, fast forward to December, all of this stuff happens. I don't really get any substantial amount of money to be able to buy a car. So now I'm carless.
Right.
And so now I got to do all of these things, bro. I'm working. I'm walking to the gym. I'm using mama's car to get to work, dropping her off. She dropping me off. She's picking me up. I'm picking her up. I'm walking back and forth from the community center in Broken Arrow. Hey man, shout out the community center, man. Like my game really developed during this time. Just the community center being free, number one, and it just being open super early in the morning and me being able to go up there. But I just remember times, man. I remember times of my mom got to be at work at 6:30. So I need to, and I know that I'm going to be too tired to really lift weights and run how I need to run when I get off of work. She got to be at work at 6:30. I got to be at work at 8:30. So I remember times of getting up at 4:00 in the morning, going to work out, and then going back to pick her up to take her to work, and then me going to work and being at work all day, then getting off of work and then going back to the gym. Like I remember my days was super 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I got to restart them again at 4:30 in the morning. So it got pretty crazy. But I kept pushing, man. I get a call to go to Spain. I killed that, played really well out there. Got linked up with some different and what's crazy is, man, like after that, bro, do we have time to talk about like the whole agents and all of that type and how agents do and how crazy?
Yeah, bro. I mean, we got plenty of time. We good, bro. Tell the story because, like I said, I think that obviously it's some kids that when you share this on your platform that'll go listen and they need to hear a lot of this because it's always a thought process of like everything's sweet. Like, and that's what
I thought everything was sweet.
Well, and I tell people, bro, it's the surface level way of living, and social media has kind of created that, even enhanced it even more.
Yes.
The fact that, like, I'm a kid, I see Rob Crawford just went and got MVP in Vietnam. I have no idea what he went through to that point. Yeah. And if I knew that, I might be like, I don't know if I'm built to be to go through all that. So yeah, man.
So when I got finished in Spain, man, I got called at the end of the season, man. So it was only like I only played like 5 or 6 games from April to like the middle of May. So at the time, man, I was signed under this agent, but at this moment, he had only got me one job, and that was my first job in Hungary. I had, worked my resources and got myself on in the G League. I had worked my resources and got myself on in Spain. And so I'm looking at him like, bro, what you doing? Like, right. I'm doing all of this, you know what I'm saying? And this is what I tell kids nowadays, man, you have to market yourself, man. I was making myself hot after every stop. I played 2-3 preseason games with the 66ers, but I had film of it and I was sending it out. I scored 11 points in 7 minutes versus an ex-NBA player, or at the time he was still in the league. So I'm sending that out to people. Like, And that helped me moving forward. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the things that helped me get on in Spain. So you have to be actively marketing yourself, man. Like all the time. And that's the beauty about social media. But the thing is, like you said, Jew, like guys be prideful. Guys be like what they life's supposed to look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be putting my highlight tape on here and posting my highlight every single day. Like, why not? And Jew, you know, you can attest to this because you post every single day. It don't matter.
I don't care.
Don't matter what people think about it. Like, you on there. I scroll through, man. You gonna be on there. It's gonna be some shoes. It's gonna be some lifting weights. It's gonna be a motivational speech. It's gonna be a some type of state. It's gonna be something gonna be on there.
Right. All the time. I don't care.
On every single, on the mentality page, from the Jew physique page, all of them.
All of them, bro. It don't matter.
So that's what but that's what I'm saying. They need to take a page out of your book, man. You got to post, man. Post yourself. Somebody's gonna run across it. Somebody's gonna see it, but you can't be too prideful. You can't be too prideful. You gotta. Who cares? Like, you trying to get on. Like, even then, when you get on, keep that same energy. Right. Post yourself. Market yourself. Don't wait for an agent to throw you out there. Throw yourself out there. You got followers. You got things that can be retweeted. You got things that can be shared. You got stuff that can be thrown out there, so use that to your advantage. But
and say real quick, just to make sure, what you're saying is there are guys that are pivotal pieces for teams overseas that are paying attention to social media and paying attention to those things. That's really being marketable like that is a factor. It helps.
Yeah, for sure. And it's social media, bro. You don't never know what you might scroll past. Right. Somebody doesn't retweet it or share it. Like, as much garbage you see every day, you might run across a diamond in the rough on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. So just post it. Right. Don't be afraid. If like, I played Division I basketball, and now I'm playing in 4th League Spain, where, you know what I'm saying, my friends and people that I grew up with, they playing top league everywhere. Top league this, top league, you know what I'm saying? I gotta, you know, even one of my best friends, he was in top league Argentina at the time. Here I'm in 4th League Spain, but what am I going to be embarrassed and not put myself? Oh man, I don't want to put this on there. No, I'm posting my highlight tape on Instagram right now, like, so people can see this. It's not about pride, man. But so I kill it in Spain. There's a really, really, really good agent that was interested in me. He came to every single one of my games in Spain. At the time, he was an agent for Octagon Sports, and they was like the biggest agency in Europe. But I was signed up under the agent that I signed with at a college, and I didn't understand. And this is like some of the stuff that I didn't understand, man. So I was signed with this other guy. And this other guy was interested in me, and he was telling me like, "Hey, man, drop that guy and come work with us." You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, and I'm a loyal person, bro. So I didn't realize. So I got to talking to my my agent at the time, and he was just like, I was telling him like, man, I'm thinking about going a different direction. You know what I'm saying? I got good stats from Spain. I got good video, and he was just like, "Nah. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad idea because I'm talking to some teams right now. We about to get you something. Like they want to sign you. They want to fool with you. You know what I'm saying? They just need a few more days. And this is in I got back from Spain in May, so it's early in the process for teams for the next season finding players. And so I'm like, you know what? If he already got teams calling him or whatever, then I'm just gonna stay. So June comes around, still got no contract. And I told the other guy, like, I'm just gonna stay with my agent. And he was just like, okay, cool. So June rolls around, no contract. July rolls around, no deal. August rolls around, no deals. And if people don't know this, overseas players, they shipping out around the end of August, early August, September. Right. That's the time where, you know, the leagues, most leagues international start. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't got a contract by then, it's kind of like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I need something. I need a job. So August rolls around, man. I still don't have nothing. I'm talking to my agent. I'm like, bro, so what happened to the team that you said was about to sign me in May? He like, man, they went with somebody else. I got that whole speech, and the market is slow right now, and all of that stuff. So I said, you know what, man, you're done. I fired him,
Right.
but it was a mistake because of the timing.
Right.
It's August. I don't need to fire him. I need to keep him so he can keep working and find me something, even if it's after the first wave of guys. I'll be part of the second wave to get a job.
Right.
And so I fired him, and I hit the guy up from Spain that was wanting to work with me, and he basically was like, "Bro, it's too late. Like, it's gonna be hard for me to find you something now. It's August. Like, it was different when it was May. Like, it was May and June, but now it's gonna be tough. Like,
right."
And so, man, now I got jammed up, man. Not only did I not have an agent, I done pissed this guy off.
Right.
He don't want to deal with me anymore at all.
Right.
And the other agent just like, he got other obligations now. So it's like, now I'm stuck. So I'm at home for a whole nother year, like the whole year. And so in that time, bro, that was tough. That was tough. Like, just, you know what I'm saying, going through trying to work and work out. And
you think about quitting?
What? Matter of fact, I told, if this was, so I didn't get a job the whole year. Around about April of that next year, bro, I told God, I had to sit down with the Lord. I said, Lord, and I got my college degree and everything. So it's like, I could just go get me a job, bro. I don't have to be out here broke. Like, I don't have to be living, you know what I'm saying, with this 9 to 5, making these crumbs, chasing after basketball, because I could just go get me a real job and be cool. So I told God, man, I said, man, and I had nothing going on.
Right.
Like, and I was emailing agents, emailing teams, and they all telling me the same thing. Like, we'll get back with you.
Right.
So I'm just like, God, listen, if you want me to play basketball, if you still want me to hoop, you made me 6'6", you made me with a 7-foot wingspan. You made me with an uncanny ability to be able to shoot the basketball.
Right.
If you want me to still play, you have to give me a sign. Otherwise, tomorrow I'm going to the bank. I'm applying for a job at the bank. I was literally on my way to the bank right around the corner from my house. And so, bro, I would say like 30 minutes later, this guy hits me up on Facebook like, man, are you available right now? This agent, this another big time agent hit me up from Europe. He like, are you available right now? I'm like, yes. He like, man, listen, I don't have anything right now, but I remember you from Hungary. I remember you was, I don't know why that team let you go. You was out there scoring. You was out there doing your thing. He was like, you was shooting the ball crazy. I'm like, yeah. He like, man, he's like, whatever you got going on, just stay patient, and you just catch our wave, sign with us, and we'll market you for next season. I'm like, okay. That was 30 minutes after I told God. So I'm like, okay, God want me to still hoop.
Right.
And so I remember I was on this like this website thing that helped players get jobs, and I was like posting my film on there, talking to coaches and stuff. And so, but they had all told me, like, everybody I hit up on this, it was like a platform of player, coaches, agents, GMs, where everybody can connect.
Right.
And so I had hit a bunch of teams on there. They all told me the same thing. We'll get back with you. Nobody got back with me. But I remember sitting down playing a game, playing 2K, man, one night with Max. And Max always be cheap, man, anyways. But I remember I picked up my phone, seen another job had came across, had probably sent out so many, like, I probably sent out like 1,000 inquiries about a job, man. So I seen it, and I was just like, whatever. And I just put my phone back down. Right. And so God told me, like, and another thing, man, people gotta understand that voice inside of you, that voice that you hear, that's the Holy Spirit talking to you, man. Like
Right.
your intuition, that's your spirit. Like, listen to that voice. Listen to that voice. That voice is real. So I was like, man, I'm not about to text these people. God told me, send them your stuff. So I sent him my stuff. And I just sent it to him like, whatever. Here, whatever. The dude responded back in like 2 seconds. Like, whoa. You available? Like, I'm like, yeah. He like, you went to UCA, average 15 a game, shot 40% from the three and all this. I'm like, yeah. He like, listen, we trying to sign you like to come to Mexico today. So I'm like, okay, boom. So got all that done. I end up in Mexico, bro, to end that season. So I played decent to end the season. And that's when that guy ended up giving me that guy, shout out to Rui, man, Rui Nunez, man, the agent that like really like picked me up out of a hole that I was in. So he ended up giving me the Mexico job. I balled out there, and then he got me a job in Portugal.
Okay.
And that's when that's when we won a championship.
Okay.
My first championship of my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We got robbed.
Yeah. And that season is when another one thing about that season in Portugal, this was 2015, 2016. I was hooping, got there, everything was cool. The team was winning. I was on a really good team. We was winning. I was averaging like 17, 18 a game. I ended up getting hurt. And it was one of those things that really had nothing to do with like me. Like I slipped because they had some water on the floor. Like I slipped and ended up tearing my MCL. So I was out for 4 weeks. No. I was out for like two to 4 weeks or something. But I did my rehab, came back quick.
Right.
Bro, I came back and I ended up getting hurt again. The same exact situation, water on the floor. Just a crazy situation. End up getting hurt, the same knee, same type of situation. So now I'm out 8 weeks. And then this time, that's whenever I started like so I couldn't travel with the team or nothing like that. So I had to stick around and just do rehab and stuff all day and just get my body back right. And that was whenever I started focusing on my highlight tapes, because I just one day was just like, man, it just hit me, like God just talking to me, like, man, it's people in that same situation you was just in, like they need videos, like they need highlights. So I'm like, okay. So then I started my first ever client for highlights for a highlight tape was Tim Smallwood. And so me and Tim, I remember, man, me and Tim got together, we made it, and then I started realizing, like, number one, I got a passion for this. Number two, people need this. And so here comes RWC Productions. And so Portugal happens. We win the championship, my first championship of my life, because I never won state in high school. I never was able to get me a championship in JUCO or Division I. So we win the championship. And this is one thing I want to say about the business too, man, just the business of basketball is, so when I got hurt in Portugal, I set my 8 weeks rehab, got back right. I came back, I was stronger than I was before I left. But the team had found a rhythm. The team had found a rhythm without me. And so when I came back, I didn't want to, before I got hurt, I was averaging like 18. But when I came back, they had found a rhythm. I didn't want to really like just, what I'm saying?
Yeah, basketball chemistry. You don't want to come in and just ruin that.
Exactly. We was rolling. So I took a back seat. You know what I'm saying? I took a back seat. I wasn't being as aggressive as I could have on the offensive end, and started kind of just focusing a lot of my attention on defense. And which I don't think that was really the best. I don't think that was the best thing I could have done in that situation. Well, actually, I say that, I don't know. Because I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna say why. Because the team was supposed to bring me back for the next season.
Right.
And basically they didn't because they felt like I wasn't going to be able to produce enough on the offensive end at that level, at the level that I needed to. So, which I'm like, I got hurt, man. Like I was killing before I got hurt. So I didn't understand that. They didn't bring me back. So then directly after that, I go play with the with the Kentucky Mavericks in 2017.
Okay, I remember that.
That's the PBL.
Yeah,
that was with Coach Tucker, and Coach, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Coach Tucker, man. He's a really good coach. One of the best coaches outside the NBA that I've ever had. So play with them. We go to the finals. Great experience. Linked up with this woman named Deborah Green. She really helped me build my business and understand what I need, like putting things in place and just understanding what I needed to do and just having a process. So played in that was Kentucky. So played there from January until May. Mm-hmm. I ended up going from there. I got a job to go play in Colombia in South America in 2017, the summer of 2017. Mm-hmm. Played really well there. That was one of my best. That was the first time in my career where I was able to just get loose. You know what I'm saying? I've been picking up game from Europe. I'm picking up game from different, you know what I'm saying, different places, just learning more and more and more, getting a little bit more seasoned, getting a little bit more polished. And so I
watching highlights. I'm like, since we're Rob coming down the lane, dropping off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like I'm seeing it now. You come down, frizzle somebody, drop it down. I'm like, what is going on, bro?
Game, man. Understanding the game, being able to read defenses. So I started really getting in my bag in Colombia, man. So what's crazy about that is I have an agent, but he finds me the Colombia gig. I get to Colombia. My coach in Colombia is German. I don't know how this is even possible. So my coach in Colombia is German. So I'm balling out. He like at the end of all of that, me and him had a great relationship. He was just like, hey, I have a friend in Germany, because this is the summer of 2017.
Right.
So I have a friend in Germany. He needs a player like you, in between player to play inside and out for the next coming season. And so he locked me in with Coach Stein, Coach Hano, and boom, I end up in Germany the next season, 2017, 2018. And this is one of those times where I was saying earlier in the podcast in part one, where you come up on a gold mine and you have to take advantage of it. I was just in a low point and took advantage of it and got out, but now I'm in a gold mine. I need to capitalize, and I don't feel like I did that in Germany.
Okay,
I don't feel like I did that in Germany. I feel like I end up averaging like 19, but I should, again, man, I should have been averaging 27.
Right.
That's the off the court stuff, man. I had got distracted. I had got into a relationship, a super toxic relationship that was taking me away from what I needed to be focused on. And I ended up averaging 19, which ended up being cool. You know what I'm saying? Our team was middle of the pack. But what happened was I was killing. So how it was set up, man, I was on the B team or whatever of the German B team of this club, and they had the A team, and I had got cool with like all. I was practicing both though.
Right.
I played a couple games with the A team, but my priority was with the B team.
Right.
So I would be in practice in the practice. I would be playing pretty well, man. You know what I'm saying? Making shots, learning mainly. Because this was the first time these are high level European guys. Like these are high level American guys. Like this is super high level practices. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning. And so by the end, man, I started to find my way. And I'm, I want to say probably about like January, February, I started really like wiggling in there, scoring and making some things happen.
Right.
So they, when my season was over, they asked me to come join. They asked me to come join the team and practice and play in the playoffs with them. And so I basically end up winning another championship with them.
Right.
So got that experience. In that situation, man, I learned how to win. You know what I'm saying? I learned like how to take care of your body. You know what I'm saying? Linking up with some of the vets on the team, learning how like you have to eat the right foods. You gotta, it's reps. It's about routine. You know what I'm saying? It's about getting up at the same time every single day, going to get your reps, going to get your routine, making sure you sharp, making sure you polished. I was learning all that, but being intentional, because I was always in the gym. I'm a gym rat anyway, but I wasn't ever really just being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would just be in there putting up shots on the gun. But no, man, you got to work on the spots that you're going to be working in the game. Like if you're going to be catching it on the elbow in the game, you need to be polished from that elbow. You need to be polished from, if it's the left elbow, the right elbow, the left wing, the right wing, you got to be polished in these spots.
Crazy to say that, bro, because remember we were watching, I know you watched this because I watched it faithfully. Kobe doing work.
Of course.
He's talking about, well, I know that like Bruce Bowen from that corner is about a 45% 3-point shooter, so I need to get out there. But I know Tony Parker. I'm like, bro, this is a savant. Like this is a genius.
Yep.
Listening to. So if you, like you said, you're applying your work ethic to intentional work, that's something that people need to hold on to. Because I can gym right now, I have no reason to lift arms. My coach has literally told me, do not work out your arms. I can go to the gym and waste a full day doing something I have no need to do.
Right, but
I was in the gym.
But exactly, you putting your work in, but that's not really what you need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you really wasting your time.
Right.
So I never really been about being in the gym just wasting my time. So I've always been trying to learn, man. And that was one of the things that I picked up, like working your spots. And so when I started, talking to the vets and seeing what I needed to do, the second part of that season on the B team, I was eating that.
Right.
Because I'm looking at the team, how they play defense. I'm watching film. Okay, I need this whole week. I need to just focus on shoot my shots from here, and here. Right. I know how they play defense. I know how they guard how they play ball screens. I know what spots, if they play zone, they leave this pocket of space open a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I would take majority of my, like when I work out during the week, I take majority of my shots from those spots. But, and I want to say another thing. Everyone works out in the summertime. Like when the season is over, everybody's in the gym. Mm-hmm. Kobe said this, and I held on to it. The real separation is made during the season. The guys putting that work in during the season. The guys going to the gym after practice when they tired. The guys going to putting that weight room. You know what I'm saying? They still getting their weights and going in the gym and polishing up during the season. That's where the separation is made. And I feel like that is the reason why I can still to this day sustain and keep it going with all the trials that I face, just because like during seasons, for sure during the summer, but during seasons I stay in the gym, I'm gonna get sharper, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get better and better. And it's like by the time the season is over, I'm a better player than when the season started. So separation is made during the season.
Okay.
So
that's the gym.
Yes.
That's the gym.
So Germany ended up winning the championship with the big team, with the A team. Next season, I played in the UK. That was, oh man, in the UK, man, we lost so many games. I think we was like 6 in 1,000, man.
Yeah, I remember that one was tough. I remember because I'm at that point we on like Instagram check-in. I've watched a couple games online, and it's just like, yeah, that situation was bad.
Yeah, we couldn't buy a win, man. And it really started, man, because it really started from the very beginning, because they brought all the players late. They didn't have a coach till late. I mean, Worcester, the club I was on, they're a good club. You know what I'm saying? It's a solid club. It was just in that situation that it was just the bad timing for everything. It's just one of the times where things just start falling apart. Like it was just.
So let me ask you real quick. Like, what would you say is more important with overseas? Because I know that overseas basketball is a different breed of ball. Like you said, it's jobs literally I can finish a job here, and then I'm in Germany, and then somebody in Argentina might call and want me. So you're going place to place like that. So is it more important winning or putting up the numbers in order to get the next job?
That's a great question, bro. That's a great question. Man, it depends. It depends because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've
Right.
been on both sides. Like I told you, in Portugal, I sacrificed my numbers so we could win, and I didn't get a call back. Well, this time in Vietnam, I was the league MVP. I got my numbers. I was out there eating.
Right.
We didn't win. I didn't get a call.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if you ask me, I think it's more about, yeah, you got to put that work. I think it's if you ask me, I think it's about building relationships with these people and eating, getting baskets, putting that ball in the hole, but having a relate. But it's crazy. I don't like to say that, man, because it's like, I really don't like to say that, just because it's like, I'm not telling you to.
That's business. That's not you.
I'm not telling you to brown nose, you know what I'm saying? And sack ride. I'm not telling you to do that, but it's like you said, it's business. Like, you work with these people.
Business.
These are your
you can't tell me that Kobe, wasn't friendly with the owners, the buses. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, that's a perfect example. The way the Bulls ended Jordan's career, if you watch that documentary, was because there was no good relationship there.
Right.
They was ready to get rid of him, and he was ready to leave. Both sides, yeah, I'm done with this. So there was still success there, but Michael Jordan is still pretty much at the top of his game at that point. They just probably could have won another one. Everybody was just like, I'm done. I've had enough.
Exactly. Like relate. So that's what I would say. A lot of people won't tell you that, man. A lot of people will tell you that it's about getting buckets and winning, but it's not always about winning.
Right.
It's not. These folks don't really. It's about relationships, man. It's about networking, how strong your agent is with these people. You know what I'm saying? And how strong you are, and how cool you are with these people. It's about, you got to be able to put that work in, but it's also about relationships. But at the same time, you got people that's averaging 6 points a game getting jobs, and it's like, how is that possible? But relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hire you before I hire. You might be less qualified, but I'm gonna hire you because I know you. We got a strong relationship before I hire somebody that's more qualified. I don't know him at all.
Right.
And I feel like that's how it go.
Okay.
So, yeah, man. So UK, we just couldn't. We had 4 different coaches in one season. It was just one of those times, and I knew it when I was in it, man. I knew it because everybody was folding, bro. Like, everybody was like having attitudes. Guys weren't showing up to practice. You know what I'm saying? Guys was just acting out. And the crazy thing is about that situation, no players ever got fired. I never seen it before. We stunk.
Right.
We stunk it up, but no players got fired. But during that time, I still, same mentality, bro. My mentality. I was still in the gym, bro. We 6 in 1,000. You don't understand how hard it is to get up and go to still work on your game and stuff, and still be in that mode when your team sucks. Like, we losing every game. Like, but I feel like it helped me because I was super efficient that season. Mm-hmm. Like, that was my most efficient season so far. Like, I shot 56% from the field, 39% from the 3, shot like 85% from the free throw. I almost had a 50-40-90.
Right.
And it was, you know what I'm saying, I was defending every position on the floor. And so
at one point you were playing out of position.
Yeah, at one point, yeah. I was playing the 4 and the 5.
Yeah, I remember watching. I'm like, Rob is in the post defensively. Like, that's not
guard the post, bro.
Like, that's crazy.
But it helped me though. It helped me because coaches started seeing like, oh, he can guard your point guard and he can guard your 5-man.
Right.
He quick enough and savvy enough to stay in front of your guards and cause havoc on that side, but at the same time strong enough and long enough to be down there in the post making stuff happen.
The one thing I want to reiterate though is like you said, man, you say mentality, y'all can say mentality, whatever y'all want to say. It's a certain bit of understanding that motivation is not enough. That's what mentality means. Yeah. All right. When you're losing, like he said, you're 6 and whatever.
There's no
way the motivation to get up and go to the gym, it's not there. But what are you relying on? And that's what I talk about, the discipline. That's the discipline you had. I'm gonna keep working on my game. I'm gonna keep getting better, preparing for this opportunity or the next one. That's work ethic. Those are all the things that like people love to tell you how motivated they are, but they don't put any action behind it.
Right.
So at the end of the day, that's just a word that's being used that we know is temporary.
Right.
It takes a certain type of person, whether you are in school, whether you are working, whether you're an athlete, to dig down deep and rely on your discipline and work ethic. And it has to be up to par for you to be successful.
That's a fact. And also, man, that situation brought out character, because a lot of guys, like I said, guys on the team showing up late, not showing up to practice at all, just because they could, just because they know their check is going to be on time, and just because it was no discipline. Like, nobody really enforcing discipline.
Right.
For me, I said, you know what? I'm gonna be a professional. Like, right. I'm still blessed to have this job. Like, and I feel like my life was set up for me to be able to be thankful in these situations at the low points. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we losing every single game, but I got a job and I have an opportunity. My body is healthy. I'm playing basketball. I'm getting paid to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm gonna show up to the games on time. I'm gonna show up to practice on time. I'm gonna show up early. I'm gonna be early. I'm gonna still work on my game. Also, I have to also shout out my young boys out there, because we won the championship for the university team out there.
Oh yeah.
Out there, yeah. My young boy Dan, Mo, man, Matt, we won the championship out there, man. Shout them boys out.
Okay, cool.
So after that, after the UK, man, the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the pandemic happened. So I was just, in the same situation as everybody else, man, just trying to figure that out. Like, so the pandemic shut everything down. And so then I ended up going. So another crazy story, man, about my situation in how I got to Vietnam. Just posting highlights, man, and just putting my stuff out there. The coach ended up running across my highlights, loved them, wanted to bring me out there, and then the rest was history. I get out.
Before that, like not before that, but during that process, were you still in the gym? Were you still working out? Were you ready?
Oh, for sure. The only time I wasn't in the gym was during when the whole
closed everything down. Right.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie about this either, because when that happened, when the pandemic happened, I've been grinding and doing this so long, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do a push-up. I didn't do a sit-up. I didn't do a squat. I didn't do a calf raise. I didn't do nothing but sit there all day long and just chill and just make videos, just try to build RWC. But I didn't athletically, man, please. I didn't do nothing at all. I didn't look at a basketball. I didn't touch a basketball. So that was what? 2 months, 3 months? The pandemic?
I mean, technically you could say it's still going on right now. But yeah, when they shut everything down, I want to say it was probably like either late February, early March till probably May or June.
Yeah.
Where it was like they started slowly opening up stuff. Thank God my gym owner at the time, like, he held out as long as he could. Then he shut it down. But as soon as they let us back open, he opened it back up, because I was going crazy.
You was going, yeah, man. Hey, listen.
At the time, my coach talking about, man, you got to do something. He's like, grab some water gallons to go. I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. Like, bro,
man, listen,
I'm going down. Like, I'm not doing none of that.
Hey, Jude, I wouldn't no ball for me, nothing. Nope. They shut the government down. I ain't playing no basketball.
All right, bro. Yep, I was done, man.
So everything opened back up. Whoo, that process was tough to come back from that. Because I had never gone that long without hooping.
Right.
Not only was I not hooping, we wasn't even moving. Like, we just in the house all day.
All right.
And trying to shake back, and my body was, that was tough. It probably took me 2 solid months to finally to get rid of all the tendonitis that I came across, and it was tough. But I ended up getting a call to go to Vietnam, man, and I ended up going out there. They wanted to start the league early, but everything kept getting pushed back and pushed back. But they finally had a set date, and I shipped out to Vietnam at the end of August. And then what's crazy is when I got out there, I had to quarantine again for 14 days.
I asked that. What was that process? Did they make you do the test and all that?
Yeah, I was getting tested every day. I'm like, bro, if I didn't get COVID yesterday, I sat in here, I ain't got it today. You test me again. I'm sitting in here for another 24 hours. You're going to test me tomorrow for what? I ain't going to get it. I'm sitting in the same spot.
Right. Literally.
I'm all by myself in a hotel room all by myself. But that's the reason why, man, we can sit here and talk about COVID too, man. That's a whole nother conversation. We could talk about that all day because I don't know. I don't really know what to believe because those people over there in Vietnam, man, it was different, man. Like I don't know. I'm gonna leave my comments about that.
Yeah, we can do that another time. We can get that another time. I haven't had one debate, or not debate, but one podcast that had like any type of touchy subjects yet.
Yeah,
I'm ready for that to happen because I want to see the response from people. But me personally, like I don't, you know me, I'll say
you ready for that smoke?
Yeah, but I ain't had that yet, so we good.
Because I'm gonna say this. For whatever reason, they had control of it.
Oh yeah, and we don't.
Right, but they was doing the same thing we was doing.
Right.
They took a few more precautions, but it was like they was living the same type of life. You know what I'm saying?
So was stuff open over there?
Yeah, it was normal life over there. But every once in a while, the government would come on the news or something, and everybody had to wear masks everywhere.
Okay.
And you had to have your mask. But over there, it ain't like how it is in the States.
No,
over there,
you ain't got a choice.
It's like a $20,000 fine or something crazy. Like, man, please, you're not gonna find me 20 bands, mask on. I'm like Future.
Yeah.
Not like Future. He mask off. But
which will be the theme song when we get through all this.
but yeah, man. So they had control of it. But the quarantine, man, I couldn't do anything. At least when I was at home, I decided not. I could have went outside to run, like
right. You know
what I'm saying? I could have done. I decided not to do anything. But when I was in quarantine, I couldn't leave my room.
Right.
So I think I asked him for like a jump rope and just some stuff to get active, but that was tough because I had did all that work to get back in shape from not hooping, for not even running, not even jogging, not even power walking, for 2 months, and I get myself back in some shape, and then got to go do another sit down for 14, 15 days over there. So that was another process of just like mentality, bro, just like body back hurting, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm auditioning. I'm in front of the team now. It can't be no. I gotta figure it out. But
gold mine.
But
like you said, it's the gold mine.
Now listen, it's crazy. Fortunately enough for me, my coach was understanding of all that, and he was just like, get it together. Because I came back out of quarantine, I couldn't dunk, and I couldn't run, let alone shoot. Like I couldn't dribble. They was asking me like, did you just hurt your legs? Did you have a knee injury recently? I'm like, no, the pandemic happened. But anyways, but what you just said, gold mine. So this was the first situation in my life, Jew, where I eliminated all distractions, and my fiance is a big part of that, man, as far as like helping me stay sharp mentally.
I was getting ready to say, now fiance's in the picture during this time too, right?
Absolutely. Me and her met, or we met in college, and I'm gonna swing back around and talk about that for a minute, just as far as like trusting God's path for you and trusting, that God got the best for you even when you don't realize it. Because after junior college, I shouldn't have went back to UCA.
Right.
Like I was committed. I was verbally committed to go to a completely different school.
Right, Idaho.
And so, right, I was going to Idaho. So I ended up going back to UCA, and during that time frame, I didn't meet Tamia the first time.
Mhm.
I met my fiance Tamia the second time at UCA. We
Right.
didn't talk or nothing. We met. We knew of each other. But after I left UCA, when I was going overseas, she followed my whole career. I didn't even know it. She was just following me, and so I had posted like I had did like an interview kind of like this, where I had talked about my story and gave people insight on what. Yeah, she read that article.
Right.
And so when she read that article, she read the article, she commented on it and was just like, this was a great read. But she had never commented. So this was 2018 when she commented on it. We met in 2011, no, 2012, 2012. Fast forward, we talk, we don't really ever, we don't talk. We just, what's up, and keep it pushing.
Right.
So 2018, she reads the article, comments on it, and says, this was a great read. I'm like, you never said nothing to me.
Right.
Except over social media. And so I'm, is she single? You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to know what's going on. This was when I was in the UK. And so, man, shout out to Mark again, man. Mark Relish, man. He plugged everything up. She was single. I jumped in them DMs, and the rest was history.
Crazy you say that too, because like it's all about God's timing. But I do feel like there's certain little nuggets sometimes he gives us, because I'm about to break this down for you and it's going to blow your mind. Tess was a cheerleader at Tahlequah Sequoia.
Yeah, first of all, I never knew that. Like, I never knew basketball. That. We played them every year.
She was a cheerleader there.
So Tess she's Native?
She's Native American. Like, my kids will be able to have access to Native American benefits, hospitals, all that.
Unbelievable. Hey, we need to talk off. We need to talk off air, man, because I'm about to help Randy do a whole bunch of Native tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, he hit me up about doing a seminar.
Oh yeah, we need to talk, bro. We need to talk.
So we'll talk. But so that was the first time. She was also a cheerleader at Bake Home.
Yeah.
When I played basketball there, we've never talked, never met, but we were both at the same school.
She was at Bake Home.
She was a cheerleader there when I was hooping. We never met though, bro.
Y'all never? Did you ever see her?
And if I did, I would have recognized her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but there's games.
That's crazy.
So, and then fast forward that till, when I moved to Norman, we were working out at the same gym in Oklahoma City. Still hadn't met, still hadn't talked, but we would be at the gym at the same time and not.
So y'all went from high school in the same spot to college in the same spot, and then adults in the same spot.
I never know, but it's like
there's no way you can tell me that type of stuff is not that's fake.
God putting these little. It felt like God was putting these little instances here where it was coincidence, but it was like she was always in my path. At some point, our paths had connected at some point.
Right.
So it's funny that you say that about her, because I completely get it. Because I've been there. Like, we were there to be for a reason.
Yeah, she was in my path. Like, she would, like, we would just be. But what the crazy thing is, and one thing that that about Tamia is, I think like my actions then, she saw how she because she would come over, and because she was really cool with Mark. Her and her best friend was really cool with our best friend Mark.
Yeah.
So they would always come over and just kick it and hang out. But I was never a part of those hangout sessions because I was always booed up. I always had a girlfriend.
Right.
So I think in that time she was able to see, like, she trusted now and trusted like the past couple years that she was able to trust me because she know how I move. She know how, you know what I'm saying? She knows what I'm all about because she saw me when she had nothing to do with me.
Right. And the crazy thing is, like, it's the opposite for me. If me and Tess would have met,
man, she wouldn't have married you at all, man.
Heck no. We wouldn't even like each other, bro. Like,
man, please.
It took my time, like, gosh, timing, that I was able to develop, figure out who I was and all these things. And then we met.
Yeah.
and it was good to go. But yeah, bro, So
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So man, fast forward back to Vietnam, man. This was I now me and to me and I have been in a relationship for a year and a half, almost 2 years at this point. And like I told you in Germany, I was in a gold mine, but I was distracted.
right,
This time I hit a gold mine and I was sharp. I took advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? I took advantage of every opportunity. I played my best ball of my career. I end up getting, like I said, like you said, league MVP. I end up shout out to Bean, man. Shout out to Bean again. RIP. End up averaging 24.8 a game. You know what I'm saying? Which I think that's crazy in itself. But
right. Hold on. So Rob, real quick. Can you see my screen?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so this is gonna be for the folks that's watching.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I committed. I dedicated the game. I dedicated this season to Bean.
Yeah. You see all this, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Some of the highlights of what my man was doing over there. Look at his coach. Like, I didn't coach none of that. I feel you, coach.
Oh man, I was feeling myself right there.
It's okay.
Was,
You hooping, bro.
Give me that ball. Give me that. Give me that. Now, get up. Let me watch out. Let me get to my spot. Oh, there you go.
That's not an easy shot by any means, too. Going to the right hand, it's not an easy shot, people. He makes it look easy. But this is just some of what he was doing recently. And as y'all can see, the hashtag to God be all the glory, Isaiah 41:10. He's using his platform to continue to, give thanks to God like a Christian athlete should. And then there's the RWC logo. But I just wanted to push that up real quick.
Oh yeah.
Just to show y'all what's going. For those watching on YouTube, show y'all what's going on. And real quick, one more. The beautiful couple right there. They're gonna have 7-footers for kids. Just to let y'all know.
Oh yeah, we about to. She already know, man. This is a business deal.
A LeVar Ball.
This is a business agreement. 7-foot point guards.
Yeah, bro. Go have beautiful kids, man. I'm happy for you. Seems like she got her stuff together. I ain't met her yet, obviously, but it seemed like she got her stuff together too, career-wise and everything. So I knew that move was gonna be made.
Yeah, she's super sharp, man. That's my baby. But yeah, man. So having her around, during my experience in Vietnam, man, I was able to be focused. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no drama off the court. Everything was clockwork. She learned my schedule. You know what I'm saying? We got used to the time difference and we just locked in, man. And I was able to come away with the MVP, led the team to the finals, and then waiting on my next opportunity now, bro.
Yeah. So it's crazy because, like I said, I've been not the whole way, but for most of the way I've been around. And it's funny too, because a lot of people, even talking to like some of the homies back in Tulsa and stuff, like a lot of people don't understand just how much I was around. Like, I don't know if they just don't recognize me, but I literally used to be everywhere.
I'm gonna tell the people how much you was around. Julian was around so much that he come into my mama house and open the refrigerator without saying nothing to nobody.
Bro.
He come in the house without saying nothing. He don't have to ring no doorbells. I think he might even got a house key, and he can literally go into the refrigerator whenever he feels like it. That's how much Julian was around.
They took me in like it was needed for me because I didn't have any brothers. So like those relationships with you, Mike, Chris, even Vic, like those were stuff I needed to grow up. I say that to say, when we're talking about, you mentioned earlier about having the right people around you and the guidance. One of the things Rob did for me, I'll talk about, is I was going to school playing ball. It wasn't going the way I wanted to, but I also was living a life of, I was just wanting to party, drink, try to be the cool guy, because I wasn't doing that in high school. Like, I was always this clean cut Christian kid, like, and I got tired of it.
We all was.
Had a girl that kind of didn't help the situation, so I dropped out of school. I'm in Tulsa. I'm just working at Qdoba, got an apartment. I'm doing stuff that, like, at the same time, I always wanted to hoop though. And I remember, first of all, I'm at TCC. I'm in intramurals, and I am killing everybody. And if you listening, Kendall Pennell, All y'all, I'm wide open. I know I was.
Hey, who that, man?
Kendall, Robert, Owen, all them busted their head wide open.
They're killing them boys.
Yeah, bro. And you remember the ref? I hope you don't listen to this. They had like the hammerhead.
Oh, yeah.
All the high school games.
Exactly what you talking about.
The other dude, he was like a bald dude. He looked like Kenny Smith.
Yeah.
Got him. I played to them, and they was like, bro, why aren't you playing in college? Like, they literally asked me that. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I love it. Like, you should, like, think about it, man. Like, go. I'm like, man, screw that. I don't want to do it. I'm still partying. And one day, Rob literally called me and was basically just like, bro, what the hell are you doing?
I was in JUCO, bro.
You was in JUCO?
Yeah, and they was talking about we needed a point guard. I'm like, bro, where is Julian? Like,
yeah, and I'm literally probably drunk. Like, when he called. But he was just like, bro, like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you're supposed to be hooping, bro. This is not you. And that was actually the wake-up call I needed. The minute after you called me, I was like, yo, I really do miss this game. And then I went and got on somewhere else, and the rest is history. Made a team, played, and did all that. But that was kind of like the revamp of my life, getting out of that hole. And that was really you. Bro, I'm not my mom, obviously. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. When you called, I'm like, snap. Like, I really am.
Like, man, bro, you need to be hooping, man. I don't know what you got going on, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, bro, you gotta be a special guy to do what you did at the point guard spot. You're not blessed with over athleticism. You're not blessed with height. You know what I'm saying? You don't have those natural, those just God-given abilities or God-given features like that. Right. So to be able to wiggle your way into a collegiate scholarship is amazing. Right. That's amazing, bro. And that's amazing. And that's another reason why I told you, because I don't think you got a fair shake at Victory in high school from the beginning. So I always was just like, man, he just need to keep playing, man. He just need to find, you know what I'm saying? He need to, but we was all on our own path. But I think one of the things that probably kind of threw you off too is we wasn't graduated yet. When you graduated, we were still in high school. So that part, that hooping, your hoop group, was still in high school.
High school, yep. That's and it's crazy too because I graduated at 17.
Yeah,
I could have, like, my mom tried to hold me back. Easily been in our class. And if I was, like, not only would it have been different, I probably would have went to a different school.
Yeah, for sure.
Had another year to hoop, like I would have went to a different school. So yeah, that was definitely weird because it was like you said, everybody that I was super cool with was still in high school.
We were still in high school.
Bacon, and I'm not only am I at a different situation, I'm with hood, like hood type folks, bro, on the basketball court, which was a whole nother eye opener where I was just like, it actually, I'm thankful for it now because that's why I am where I am now. Them fools toughened me up quickly, bro. Because I'm like, first of all, I'll talk trash to whoever. We know that. But it was a physicality and like an intimidation that they was trying to bring that I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like, we not doing that, bro. This is basketball. Like, we all bleed the same way. And I felt like the same thing with you, though. I could see the difference in the way you approach the game after Rogers sessions.
Yeah. And because at Victory, man, with private school, we never really got that. We never really got that, you know what I'm saying? That hey, mother, you about to, you know, we never really got that, you know what I'm saying? So then my dad kind of gave me that early, but it was my dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I would play my dad and beat him, it was like, oh, I'm that dude now, you know what I'm saying? But then when we start going to Rogers, it was a whole different type of grit. Like, it was a whole different type of, and they just talking greasy to you. So, and I ain't gonna lie. And I tell Jimmy and Barry, shout out to Jimmy and Barry, man. Coach Jimmy, Coach Walker, man. They I said Coach Jimmy, Coach Walker, they the same person. Coach Josh.
You said Jimmy and Barry first. You was right.
Yeah. Coach Jimmy and Coach Josh. But they was talking. They the reasons why I started talking greasy to people on that basketball court. Because you had to do that out there. Like, when you go hoop out there, man, you can't be folks talking crazy. You gotta, bro, who you talking to? Like,
oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
talking to somebody, I'm like, I don't think people understood how elite those runs were. I would have put them runs up against anywhere in Oklahoma, bro.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Talent there, bro. Like, it wasn't just some dudes hooping.
Bro,
Like,
you understand they was bringing in, bro, Coach Barry was bringing in prime Ebby,
yeah,
prime Caleb Green,
yeah,
Adam Spanish, Moses,
yeah.
all these boys were showing Larry Owen, prime Larry Owens.
Yeah.
These are pros.
Yeah.
And we in high school.
Yeah, going at it, bro.
Going there with these guys, you know
It
what I'm
even
saying?
made me realize, because one of my problems hooping, and you can attest to this, I just question my ability to play basketball all the time.
Yeah.
I
never understood that, bro. I was like, bro, you out here competing with us. Like, what are you talking about?
I always questioned it because I could have been way more aggressive. Like, I could have scored the ball better. Like, there's certain things I could have done. I just wasn't confident in myself because I didn't play high school ball like that and all that. I'm just trying to be out there and be playing and be on a team, not taking over. But when I went out there, it was like, I can hang with these guys.
Yeah. It was
that, bro. I'm like, I can play with these dudes. Like, I'm not lagging anywhere.
We were around private school kids all day, and then now we going around the city's best. The city's best, and these are Rogers is out. Rogers not really out north.
No, it ain't out north, but it's close enough.
Yeah, but it's the public school kids. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's a different
like
vibe,
you said,
bro.
it's a different vibe. It's a different. It made me tougher for sure going out there. And then, like I said, Bacone made me tougher as well. So after that, wherever I play, I never cared, bro. Like, I don't get scared of anything. But like, when it came to hoop, if we gotta go there, we gonna go there, bro.
We got.
I remember one time, dog. Shout out to Devin, bro. I'll never.
Devin Harris,
bro.
Devin Harris, man. Shout out my young boy, man. Me and Devin at Connors, bro.
Yeah. Devin comes to Oklahoma Western, right? And he's playing.
He showed out at Western, didn't he?
Yeah, bro, he went crazy. So this is before I found out that I wasn't gonna play no more. And we had a practice.
What you talking about?
Bro, you remember I got ruled ineligible.
I don't remember that. So I thought you finished up.
No, my senior year, we was trying to fight for another year eligibility from TCC. I went and got all the paperwork done. I got professors to attest that I had not come to class. They still denied me. So before I knew, we talking about like 2 weeks before the season started when I found out. I went through a whole off season and everything. Yeah. So we in practice. I forgot what happened, bro, but like, they used to pick and choose when they want to let people foul and play physical and do all that. And like, after a while, if you get me to my point, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care who you are. And something happened. I went and drove, and Devin kind of like pushed me or something. And I'm like, I looked at the coach. I'm like, "You're not gonna call that?" All right, I walk out of the court. It's old film. I don't know if coach still got this, but Devin tried to like go by me, bro. I just tackled like in the middle of half court, bro. He did this. I just grabbed him and just threw him to the ground. And I just looked at the coach like,
you do love that.
Coach was like, "Julia, you can't do that." I'm like, "Yo, I've been getting fouled all day." He called me in the office the next day and like showed me on film. He was like, "You just can't do this." I'm like,
"Hey, that's them Rogers, bro."
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm just like, at that point, I'm about to show y'all not gonna do this to me, bro. Like, I'm not. So yeah, bro. Those was good runs, man. But so what's crazy, Rob, is like hearing about your story, hearing about your journey, like the ability and the mental fortitude that you had to have to keep going and keep pushing, the love for the game that you have to continue to work on it, perfect your craft, and all those things. What are you looking to do with the game of basketball? Like, we know RWC production and what that is, but what are some of your goals with the game itself? What's your next step in the Robert Crawford process?
Man, so what's crazy is that's a really good question, bro. So, like, even the situation that I'm in now, as far as going over here, getting the league MVP, leading the league in scoring, going to the finals, and then the situation that I got put in with the team, basically hiding my rights or covering my rights, telling everybody that they're gonna sign me, and then they not signing me, but blocking every other team from signing me, just going through that and having no agent. And even now, like going through that stuff, like in today's time.
Right.
And like, cause I've been saying this since it's been happening. Basketball is the only sports is probably the only profession that you can go into and be the employee of the year and get fired. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going through that right now. And it's just like, I know God is God's timing and God's best, but my next progression is I want to be able to mentor guys that are going through this, bro. Like, because there's nothing easy about it.
Right.
And I think I'm going through stuff like this to be able to mentor and teach one day. And I don't want, I've always said, man, I don't really want to coach. I don't want to coach professionals. I don't want to coach college at all. I want to coach high school. Okay. So when I run across a Julian Peters, I know what to do with him. I don't just throw him on the bench and be like, all right, whatever. But I'll be able to see the talent, see what he got, and be able to also direct him in the right space if he doesn't have a father figure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, in high school, the high school kids, they can either go this way or they can go way over here. Easy. In college, you already pretty much you are what you're gonna be.
Right.
High school, you know what I'm saying? Just some of the guys that we graduated with, man, could have been totally different if we would have had that type of father figure coach. You know what I'm saying? And Coach Wakely did a great job, you know what I'm saying? But hey, no, but I mean,
that's y'all guy, bro. I'm gonna just leave it like that.
No, man, but it would have been a lot different, man, if it would have been like if I would have been in that situation with guys, things would have went way different.
Even, you know, like, check this prime example, Coach Marley. I'm really close to Coach Marley. You know, he brought me back to Victory to coach, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So, like, for a year, I helped with the linebacker coaches, was in there in the meetings, helping out and everything. And he was like, you're welcome to do that. He had a new school now, wherever you want to. Come back and coach, we'll get you on staff. But that's what, like, that relationship has always been there with me and Coach Marley.
Yeah.
And that's a relationship that, like, I needed, especially what a lot of people don't realize, what you're saying is needed is Victory was the first time I had ever seen a man in like a position of teaching other than coaching. Like growing up, I ain't never seen a male teacher in my life besides a coach. So me being around
out there in Norman, they didn't have male teachers.
If they did, I never had one. They might have one. It's not a common thing. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we don't even need to get black male teachers. That ain't
talking about that.
I ain't even heard of. But a male teacher, seeing males in roles that are Christians, that have families, that are working, I hadn't seen that. Right. So that getting a Victory was really important for me. And then Coach Cherry and Coach Marley were those coaches that you were talking about for me on that side to help guide me. So I think that for you, bro, like
I never had a coach like that. Well, besides my junior college coach and a little bit of Coach Corliss, man. Coach Corliss Williamson, man, he held it down as much as he could for me, man. You know what I'm saying? He did his part. But I never really my mentor besides my pops was Ebby, bro. And Ebby couldn't be there. He got kids and a family. So it's like
I just met my mentor 2 years ago.
Yeah.
like I'm 31 years old, bro. I just met my mentor 2 years ago.
So so to answer your question, bro, that's what I want to be. I want to be like a mentor. That's why I said I don't know if I want to even coach. I definitely don't want to coach pro or college. I want to be like I want it to be a situation to where because I didn't even want to coach. I wanted to just train, but train that I wanted to be in a situation where I got access to these kids and I can pour into them all the time. Because training, if I have 4 sessions with you this week, an hour session, that's 4 hours. I need more than that. You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to guide you. I need to know what you're doing off the court. I need to know, you know what I'm saying? I need to know what you got going on, what's going on at home. You know what I'm saying? What's going on?
Even college. Like even like I know this sounds goofy, but like it reminds me of Coach Carter.
Exact. That's what I want to be, bro. Somebody that when you get in trouble, bro, you come knock on the door like I'm gonna be there for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be that person that you can lean on because these kids, especially the African American kids, man, they ain't got that. They ain't got the support at home that they need. So I want to be able to be. I want to make my own money to where I control. I'm not looking for you to do this, looking for you to do this. I want to make my own money. I'm going to make my own money to where I control this show and then not control from a standpoint of oh everybody listen to me, but control to the point where if I whoever putting that work in gonna play,
right?
Whoever getting better gonna play.
Right.
If you the super, you ain't putting that work in, you ain't putting no extra work in, you ain't gonna play, brother. Right. I'm just sorry. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to get the kids, man. Get a kid's mentality, bro.
And I feel like one of the things I tell people all the time is I'm a hard-headed individual and I knew the right path to go down. I didn't go down it, right? But I also know at all. But I also know that when you're dealing with what we are, which is Christian, we're Christian Black males, we're setting examples. To me, it's a lot easier for an 11-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old Black boy to look me in my face and know that I've been through what they've been through.
Right.
I made the bad decisions, did all this. Listen to me. And it's easier to comprehend and it's easier to listen to than some dude that ain't been through nothing.
Right.
Trying to tell me how I need to do. Like, I'm not listening to you, bro. Right. So that's one of the things that when you say mentor, I think you'll be great at it. But I also think since you have a story, you're just relatable to those type of athletes and to those people. And it'll be something that you can I think you can jump right into. You know the game, so we ain't got to worry about that. But yeah, I think that along with, like you said, being able to help these guys get to college. Because one thing I want to talk about, which I think we got a little bit more time, kids, I want y'all to understand this. A full boat is a full boat. A scholarship is a scholarship.
That's a fact.
You got a D2 school to say we're getting ready to pay for everything you got. It's okay to go there. Like, it's okay to get that ship. I don't know where we started this process. This all D1, D1, D1. I know
they've been started that. That started, and Instagram and social media made it worse. It was like that with us. Everybody just trying to go D1.
D1. When at the end of the day, if you don't have a D1 but a D2 is in your face and they're giving you a scholarship, guys, people make it from D2s. People make it from NAIAs. Like I know it's harder, but it's done. But getting a full paid scholarship for school is something that you need to grab a hold of if you're not getting the other offers.
But speaking on basketball terms, bro, I know kids hear a lot. If I go D2, it's going to be harder for me to make it if I want to be a professional. Yes, that's true. But you also have to know how you're going to make it. What are you going to do? What steps are you going to take to put yourself in a situation to get an agent to be able to go to the next level? It's not just, oh man, I'm finna just smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna smoke because all these guys smoking now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna smoke and go out here and go to practice and go to school a little bit and then go hoop. No, it's not gonna happen for you. You gotta have a plan, bro. I knew going into my senior year that I can't go out here and average 8 points a game.
Right.
I can't go out here and average 9 points a game. These folks ain't gonna want me.
Right.
I'm gonna need to average at least 10 to 12 points a game. And I knew that because I'm talking to Mark, who just was overseas grinding it out. I'm talking to some of my old teammates that was over there. They telling me, man, if you want to do this, you're gonna have to do this. So you got to reach out to people for that information, understand it, and then figure out how you're gonna get it done.
Right. And one thing, and Rob keeps repeating, I hope y'all hear, use your resources. You know, if you got guys that have been in the situation, that have been successful in the situation that you are, stop being afraid to ask for advice. Stop being afraid to hit them up for contact. If you want to work out with somebody, if you want to sit down with somebody, I've done it. Even starting this podcast, I had somebody that I reached out to who has one. They gave me the 401 on everything.
Man, listen, Man, I just played against Joe Johnson the other day. I'm 30 years old. I was on my way. He just I ended up turning around and taking my shoes off, and then he was out the gym. I was on my way. This was last week.
Right.
Go talk to this man and ask this man different questions just to see, okay, how you do this, you know what I'm saying? How you do that. And if I see him again, because I'm in his hometown,
right,
I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to ask questions until he tell me, hey man, stop asking me questions, man.
Right. So use your resources, stay grinding, stay working. It is not always meant, I tell people this, and y'all can't watch, but for the people that are watching, there's never a situation to success. Very rare that it just goes like this, ever. You're going to have a bunch of this to get to the point that you want to get to.
Yeah.
So, Rob, I appreciate you for sharing your story, man. I appreciate you for getting on here and dropping some of them gems. I'm definitely going to snap up the Kobe part. That's definitely going on my Instagram. But that was a good one. But you got anything else, man?
No, man, you said it all, man. Keep God first, bro. You got to keep God first. Keep trusting in God, man. Keep trusting in your path. Don't be comparing your situation to other folks' situation and looking at what other people got. Stay in your lane, man, because you never know. Like your greatest downfall could be your greatest come up on the other side. Mm-hmm. And majority of the time it is that. As long as your perspective is right, as long as you're looking at it the right way, it's a blessing in every single situation.
Right.
It's a blessing in every single situation. I get hurt. I get hurt for 8 weeks. If I don't get hurt, it's no RWC Productions. Now all of a sudden I got a platform to be able to help a bunch of kids get a video to go to the next level that they want to play at because of I sat down for 8 weeks because I was hurt.
Right.
So just take advantage of everything, man.
For sure. But all right, y'all. We appreciate you listening for part 2. I'll probably have Rob on again. We might just talk strictly basketball the next one, though. Get some in and outs of that.
We got to debate something, man.
Yeah, man. So y'all have a good day. Thanks for listening.